This club's about winning trophies. I'm inexperienced in a lot of those things.
3-0.
Can you believe it?
Almost lost the cup and you win it. The new European champions, the treble, the dream come true for you.
Oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Football, bloody hell. But they never give in. And that's the winner.
Welcome to the American Red Devils podcast. I'm John.
I'm Alex.
And we're bringing you the best Manchester United news from this side of the pond.
Ooh, sir. The walls are closing in on poor Ole. Tough result today, giving Istanbul their first win in Champions League history. Everton feels like a must-win.
Sir, a bit of history. You'll just remember, where was I when Istanbul won their first game in the Champions League? An atrocious match. You know, it's a tough trip, but you got to do better. You got to be sealing the deal. We saw PSG struggled a little bit away in Istanbul. We call them Baby Bitch FC for a reason, but we got to be getting all 3 points. You look at the table in the Champions League, and now qualification is kind of in jeopardy.
You know, it means a lot less after playing as well as you did against RB Leipzig and PSG, and then dropping the points you did today. Sorry, the group is all up for grabs now. We had a chance to cement our position in it, and instead we really put out a dreadful performance. That is not going to help with morale, and certainly not going to help boost going into the weekend with a big match against an Everton side that usually wouldn't worry us, but they're on a bit of form. At least they started the season that way. And
Ole's streaky, sir. Ole's streaky, and right now the streak is going the wrong way. Those 2 good games against PSG and Leipzig, those might be outliers at this point as far as what we've seen in the league. 1 point from 4 games. Losing to Istanbul. Who are you, FC, sir? Basaksehir. I mean, look, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, his back's against the wall. Everton is a must-win. It was already a must-win. Both of these games were must-wins, in my opinion. And the reason why you get a win in Istanbul is because you got to kill that bad run juju, right? You can't let the slide. You got to know you got to win and then turn your head towards Everton. And right now the lads are hanging their heads, and it's going to be a tall task. I think they can do it. Whenever Ole's back has been against the wall like it's going to be with Everton, he's always pulled the result out, sir, whether it was Norwich away or I forget another match, but there's a few where Ole's kind of post Newcastle, I want to say, a few matches, whenever his back's against the wall, he always gets it done. The lads always show up.
I think there was a Newcastle game, actually, like way back when, before he even got appointed, that might have saved him as well. Last time we went to an international break, we had that awful defeat against Spurs. If we have another awful result, I don't think they're going to bring the sack out, but it's going to get very, very dicey for a long time. The breaks, or that break cannot come at a bad time or worst time if we get a bad defeat against Everton on the road.
Sir, the guillotine is like being greased at by Ed Woodward and co. I mean, are you kidding me? It's like, if you used to have that bad of a start in the league and then the Champions League looks in question. Look, we always knew this was going to be a tough month, but it's looking pretty bad. Also, the organization of the team, what happened today on the pitch, we'll get to it in the match recap. It's like, I've never seen that happen, and you talk about the diamond and the squash diamond against Arsenal and the lads not showing fight. This is kind of the tipping point, either Everton goes well and we kind of get back on track. Maybe that train starts chugging, always at the wheel, or that slide's gonna ride.
It's gonna go either way. You could see it happening, but this is a big test for the boys because this is a team that's playing with a lot of confidence. I know they've had a couple of losses, but they want a big win against United. I'm sure the coach does, and United is going to show it. It's like the back's against the wall again for Ole. He's on, that wall waiting for the firing squad as they load. The question is, do the boys put out a performance and buy him some breathing room? Because that's been the thing, is are they willing to fight for their manager? Today, you would have thought this is a 3 points that's going to put a firm grip on the Champions League. It changes the mood, right? Kills the juju. You got to win that. And the fact that they came out today flat is a bad sign, sir.
No, and also we want to caveat, like, it's the board is terrible. Ed Woodward's terrible. Like, I saw a tweet online. It was like, United's the only team to sign 2 wingers. One hasn't featured, and the other one isn't going to be able to play until 2021, when clearly the right wing is like what we need to fix at United. But like, Ed Woodward didn't give that to Ole. Not saying that solves all of our problems, but like, he wasn't backed when he needed to be. And if he does go, I think we have the players to beat these teams in these situations. I don't think the players have performed too well either. Again, the manager takes responsibility, but there are some caveats. So I'm not just going to be like, I'm backing Ole all day.
Are we there yet?
I'm going to back our manager, sir. It's up to Ed Woodward. You never want to see a manager at Manchester United get fired, but there are a lot of people talking about it, and the criticism is fair. He's got to turn it around, and I can't believe it went south so quickly.
I still think he has time to turn around. I mean, it's like, because the games are so thick and fast, a big win, it's a long way to get there, the big win at Goodison. But if you do it, it certainly will lift morale headed into the break. So it's a must win. I mean, Ole knows it. You lose to RB who? You lose to FC Istanbul. It's tough, giving them their first Champions League win. So it is as must win as they come for Ole.
Consistency is key, sir. Consistency at Manchester United, getting those dubs is key. Quick PSA for the podcast. Support us on Patreon. Check out our revamped Patreon page at patreon.com/americanreddevils. We have some exclusive posts up there. Number 1 is the new logo design for our podcast and album cover from Stanley Chow. We're also going to be posting exclusive podcast content there as well. All of our episodes will still remain free on our podcast feed, but if you want to support the pod, we have a few tiers on Patreon. You can do anything from $1 a month to $20. And if Patreon's not your thing, you can buy some merch at americanreddevils.com. You can click on store. We got Glazers Out stuff, hoodies, etc. It's great. Quick shout out to our Sir Bobby Charlton Stan Patreon supporter, Eric Morales. He's all over Discord, hot banter. Shout out, Eric. Again, appreciate the Patreon support. Drop a review on iTunes. 5 stars goes a long way. That's the number 1 way this podcast is found. We have some great reviews. Drop some cheeky banner. We're still doing the sticker giveaway. Just email us, americanreddevils@gmail.com. Your review. We will get you a sticker for free. And subscribe on YouTube. Sir, that is the PSA for fans, by fans. There's no private interests, no private sponsors, just the fan bias take. That's what this podcast is about.
Sir, you covered that list very well done, top to bottom. You think Woodward's reaching out to us for sponsorship anytime soon? I don't think so. With all this Glazer out propaganda we got going 24/7.
Glazers Out on sale, sir. Scarf $9.99. We're giving them away. Hate the Glazers. Want them out. Get them out. At Woodward as well. We should have a Sack Woodward scarf. We should get that in there.
They're flying out the door. It's still available at americanreddevils.com. Pick up your scarf, Glazer Out. It's $9.99.com, sir. It's a great deal.
You know what's great about having a podcast, sir, is breaking down losses like this. I'll tell you, you and me are like chirping each other before the pod. The mood's sour. It's just, it's a tough time. It's just like, having some technical issues with the remote pod. I can't see Alex's video, and then we're going back and forth on how to use Skype.
I'm doing better now, sir. I hope you're doing better now. It's good. I'm smiling. You can't see my camera, but I agree. Once we get the pod started, it's like, what happened? What happened?
It's like, oh, wait, what game are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about Istanbul Basaksehir 2, Manchester United 1 at the Basaksehir Faith Stadium away. Champions League group stage, week 3, sir. I think you're supposed to play the music.
Oh, sorry, sir. must have been. I just didn't think it was Champions League music worthy. Our performance today was so abysmal. It doesn't even get to play it, sir. It actually makes me feel better. Like we almost play better hearing this music. Snap me back to reality.
All I gotta say is, how could the Manchester United players listen to that song before that match and play that bad? That's a good question, sir. I think they did disservice to the angelic voices in the Champions League music. You gotta go undefeated once you hear those tunes.
It was a Europa League performance out of the lads. I hate to say it was not good. I mean, we came out flat. Let's get in that lineup, sir. Get in that lineup.
It was a zebra lineup, sir. To add insult to injury, you got to lose wearing that kit. Starting 11, Dean Henderson in net, Wan-Bissaka, Tuanzebe, Maguire, Shaw, back four. We're back, baby. Van de Beek, Matic, Mata, Fernandez. Just overload the midfield there with Rashford and Martial. Sir Ole not getting rid of that diamond. What do you make of that?
What's not to like? I mean, I saw it. I thought back four, you're going for it. You're not absorbing anything. I liked Matic, Van de Beek in the midfield. I thought that was, good pairing. And then Mata and Bruno, I figured, we'd seen those two link up so well together. I thought it would make absolute sense. But it turns out, sir, the passing was scratchy. Scratchy to say it lightly.
Yeah, as Sir Alex liked to say, the original sir. You play the diamond against Leipzig, you get away with it, tactical genius. Then you just play the diamond every other game after that. That shows you're not a tactical genius. This needed to be the 4-2-3-1, or you got to play the back three. Either way, we showed Istanbul way too much respect. We got caught out. We couldn't put anything together. I don't know if we showed them too much respect, sir. I think we kind of we didn't show them enough respect is probably the way it is. And we played them like we were going to win, and we just got outdone, and we didn't show up with any injury. Similar to Arsenal. Is it a motivation thing? I think it's mentality.
No, it's meant. You were saying it on Twitter, sir, and I think your spot is mentality. A winning team, it's hard, been through the ringer, shows up to in Turkey, and does the job, sir. You put them under the knife. It's no big deal. It's doesn't matter if you have, Tuanzebe starting instead of Lindelof. Doesn't matter if you have Donny and not someone else. Yes, you win this game. This team's got to be good enough. And we were just so sloppy, sure. No intent. It was just flat. Nothing good about it.
Sir, you should win this game with Jesse Lingard, Daniel James, and Greenwood. Leave them alive.
The Gallo, sir. Viva Gallo. If they came out with gumption, I almost would have rather seen Dan James today because Mata didn't have it, unfortunately.
So, hungry dog runs faster. That's what you got to say. And people need minutes, and Ole there needs to be more competition in the team because they're not getting it. Should we jump in first half?
Let's do it, sir. They did come out with a little bit more intent in the weekend. The formation looked promising, but it was vulnerable on the break. We had an early chance, the 6th minute, very early, for Bruno after a nice pass from Maguire. It was more of a half chance that he kind of took first time. It was good early intent, sir. Followed on 10th minute, good driven ball in by Shaw. Rashford and Martial probably should have done a little bit better. Maybe get at the end of it. Looked like it would be a goal. But it was good early movement, but a lot of pushing forward, sir, from United.
No, I mean, out of the gate, it looked good. We were pushing. We were going for the win, not showing them any respect. And sir, and then, you can get into the audio here.
Sir, in the 13th minute.
Bolingoli and up towards Demba Ba, and I think he's onside here. He was in his own half. Demba Ba being chased by Matic. Scores for Istanbul Basaksehir.
A much slower Demba Ba than I remember from the Premier League days, sir, but he out-gallops Matic. Defense reminiscent of under 9 style stuff. I haven't seen a goal like that in a long time, sir.
Oh my God, dude! I'll tell you what. This is the footballing gods are cruel, but just. We've been singing about Steven Gerrard. He gave it to Demba Ba, sir. And this is what we get for just laughing at Demba Ba going on the break and scoring against Liverpool. Happens to you in Istanbul.
It happens to us, and you watching it again, sir. You get to watch it. It's so slow, but he had so much time, and even Matic almost catches up to him, which is incredible because Matic is not a sprint master at all.
Okay, here's the deal: when you play defense, you don't let the offensive players behind you in your own half. That's kind of a rule. what was it? Twanzebe forgot it. Maguire forgot it. Shaw and at AWB, they're supposed to press up. And then Matic is supposed to probably drop in the middle of those two as kind of like the last man, and they all forgot it, sir. So terrible goal to concede, lack of focus and organization from Manchester United. Inexcusable, in my opinion. But then I'm like, okay, we're Manchester, insert curse word here, United. We're going to come back. We're going to score. We're going to batter them. This is going to get the lads like super into the game. They're going to turn up. It's only a matter of time.
I mean, that's what I thought. I was like, oh, that's exactly what we need. We showed up flat, get a Demba Bass goal scored against you. That would certainly think you'd wake up. Wasn't really that much doing until like the 30th minute. It was actually a good chance for Martial, but it was your boy, Raphael, getting in a good block, and he was busy all day, sir. He was putting in like a performance.
I'll tell you what, Raphael showed today what everyone on the park is missing. And what Sir Alex Ferguson instilled is that a consummate professional shows up, covers every blade of grass, leaves everything on the pitch. He did that. Should have never got rid of him.
Heart, bro. I mean, he's got heart. He's got heart in abundance, and might not still have it technically gifted in terms of like everything left in the tank, but he gave it today, left it all on the pitch, wanted to impress against United side, look relentless. Like you would... Dude, I mean, it just ships like the kind of personalities we've gotten rid of in this side over time that Woodward's allowed. Raphael's a good example of that, RVP, et cetera. It's just like, dude, he's a player. I mean, still, he can run around and looks a leader as well. So shout out to Raphael. And anyway, sir, moving on. Another good chance actually on the other end, sir, for Istanbul in the 32nd minute. Shot went right at Dino, but it was a nervy stuff. And then towards the end of the half, things went from bad to worse, sir, in the 40th minute.
Trailing by Demba Ba's goal to 0. And again, the pace on the counter-attack. That's brilliantly won by Dennis Turek. Demba Ba leaves it. Could be 2-0. It is! Visca smashes it into the back of the Manchester United net. It's another brilliant breakaway goal. Brilliant breakaway.
I don't know if that counts as a brilliant breakaway goal, but poor Mata, sir. Like Mata just like, I don't know what that is. A Fred from a year ago, but that was not good, whatever it was.
Look, scrambling back on defense and looking shoddy and getting just cut open by Istanbul. The Demba Ba goal, then this. I mean, it's kind of schoolyard mistakes from United. And, I even then I thought we were going to still win. I mean, I thought that they would like finally wake up and get it done. And we didn't have to wait long, sir. 43rd minute.
I mean, yeah, you thought this would certainly ignite the boys.
Luke Shaw's cross. And the downward header is in. Anthony Martial has pulled one back for Manchester United and put a different complexion on the halftime team talks.
And sir, just a nice goal from Shaw to Martial. Good finish from him. Way to get on the board. I was excited after this. I thought we're well in this game. Good time to get a goal right before half.
Exactly, and a great cross from Shaw. I thought we were back in it. Like, let's go, come out, score, and win. I mean, we need the 3 points. I mean, this is as easy as it's going to get. Especially our home form, sir. Wait till PSG comes into our house. We got to worry.
Apparently, sir. Looking these days, based on the inconsistency of this team. I mean, maybe that's the lack of mentality, maybe it's the youth, but it's amazing. One day we show up and look like superstars. The next day, we look like a team that lost to the equivalent of a Newcastle side, like badly. Anyway, going into halftime, how you feeling? What are you saying, Azole?
Look, I'll tell you what. Yeah, I had high hopes, and we came out, didn't look good. He subbed it, McTominay. Twanzebe. I thought Lindelof came off at half as well, sir. He had a back injury. Isn't that correct?
I might have missed that, sir. Was it? I thought Twanzebe came off because he had the yellow.
No, I thought Lindelof had a back injury, but we'll have to check that.
He didn't start, sir. Lindelof. He was on the bench.
Oh, right. No, he didn't start because yeah, you're right. I don't know why I got confused, but I think it was in the presser. Ole confirmed Lindelof had a back injury. I thought it was a sub. Look, McTominay for Twanzebe. We had a difficult time getting the ball outside of our half, sir. It was rough. 56th minute, we had a shout from Bruno on the free kick. We had double sub. Let's bring on Cavani, the money makers, Cavani and Pogba. Nothing doing. Then Greenwood and Fosu Mensah. Good to see Fosu Mensah.
You got to say Fausto Mensah. I mean, he didn't have that much to do. wasn't bad, but it was like nothing doing in this half, sir. Like you look at this half, it's all like sub. Very few chances at all. We didn't create anything. We seemed like we struggled to get out of our half, and then really did nothing about it, and then the game was over.
Yeah, I mean, look, Cavani wearing 7. How you feeling about that?
That zebra kit. I don't know, man. It's not feeling very good. I mean, he didn't have much to do, but no one looked good. I mean, like the passing was, where is it, sir? It was scratchy. It was super.
Some of the passing is fucking scratchy.
It's fucking scratchy. It really was fucking scratchy. It was like Mata, Bruno, Pogba when he came on. Everybody, man, like Maguire, it wasn't good football. I mean, that's so you went to Fausto Mensah. There was a goal line clearance at the end that just gave us like a breath of hope. That was Dash.
Oh, I know. No, it's so funny. I remember because, like, look, I'm watching the game and I want us to score, and even a point would do something, right? So, like, at the end of the game, I'm like, goal line clearance. I tweet out like, hey, we almost got a goal line clearance. Everyone's just like, we shouldn't need that, And I was like, I kind of agree, but point would have been nice. It would have been nice, but like you said, that's all she wrote. And oh man, the from the start it was wrong. The cavalry, Cavani and Pogba, Greenwood, Fausto Mensah, nothing doing. Like really, it looks like something's going on with this team, or we're just not showing up. And it's hard to blame Ole when the players play like that. I don't think he wants them to play slow. I don't think he wants Istanbul to outwork us and create better chances. That's not the game plan. But something's not quite right with United, and I'm afraid I've seen this movie before. And I honestly don't think hiring another manager is going to fix it. And I actually, at this point, don't know what would fix it, sir.
It's a good question because I don't know, was it all tactics or was it like we gave up this brain-headed goal that was just defensively insane and then all of a sudden we just lost it? We just seemed to lose our conviction. As soon as our game plan, something goes wrong with it, everything goes to shit. It was like you get punched in the face and you completely lose the plot. And today it looked like we just lost any semblance of what we were doing, any kind of urgency in getting back in the game, and any kind of idea on how you're going to do it. It just like we seemed hopeless. And it was one of those games where you knew we weren't getting. I was with you. I was rooting, tooting, hoping that maybe somehow we'd squeak in a goal and get a point, which matters because you deny them the win. You get a point. It does matter. Instead, we're tied with RB Leipzig now.
What a clearance that was, by the way.
I know.
That was like that could be the reason why we're not we don't go through. It could come down to that, like that amazing, like he literally cleared it off the top of his boot and skied it so it didn't hit the under bar and in. I mean, it could come down to that, sir. It's a game of inches.
It's a game of inches, sir. I think RB Leipzig and PSG are going to be looking for revenge. Those are going to be very interesting games.
Dude, you gotta hold the line in the Champions League. You're playing terrible in the league. You need to win the game, sir. You need to say, okay, the EPL is a dumpster fire, but at least we're killing it in Europe. You need to be able to say that. You can't be losing to the worst team in the group. It's like, United, what are you doing? It's like, come on, don't those players in the locker room understand what that game meant?
You also can't be leaking 2 goals, right, sir? You can't be going on the road and leaking that kind of goal early, and then the second goal, both were shit goals to give up to a team that's like, not that they're going to work you, hard, but those goals are sloppy.
You should score 5 in Istanbul. You understand? You should score 5 with the backups. It's like there's no excuse. It's like the fact we had nothing going forward, dude. The passing, like you said, it was scratchy. It was slow. It was labored. There's no energy. It was like Arsenal. It's like they showed up flat, like a flat tire, sir, like a wet noodle. They got nothing. This whole wet noodle FC. You ain't gonna beat Everton, bro. Like they're gonna take it to us, and like we're gonna. And if we look like we don't know what we're doing, like unfortunately, I think Ed Woodward's gonna. He's gonna unleash the firing squad, and it's gonna. And I don't know if that's gonna. This transition year.
You ready for that again? You ready for another rebuild? We're in the rebuild. We're in the middle of a rebuild. The match stats don't help Ole, unfortunately.
No, exactly. We try to keep it real at the American Red Devils. It's this team, sir. 68% of the ball, not with 2 shots on target. Are you kidding me? That is so poor. What are we doing with the ball, sir? Although we had 5 corners and Harry Maguire wasn't close. This result ended Manchester United's longest away winning run in all competitions in their history, 10 straight wins, and was their first away defeat in 19 matches since losing in January at Liverpool in the Premier League.
Not bad. I mean, that's like context. That's. He's been on a run. He said he's streaky. It's like, well, he needs that streak to not go shit, like he said. He goes streaky bad, streaky good.
All right. To be clear, Alex puts this together, so then I'm not responsible for what's said. Manchester United lost 4 of their last 6 away matches at Turkish opposition all competitions. That's the stat right there, sir. Among Premier League clubs, Basaksehir, Basaksehir's Ba has only more goals in all competitions against West Brom, Tottenham, and Man United. Today was his first goal against the Red Devils since April 2013 for Chelsea. That's right. Demba Ba has been relevant since 2013. And with his 32nd match in the Champions League, Manchester United's Anthony Martial has scored in back-to-back games in the competition for the first time. His strike came just 137 seconds after Istanbul had gone 2-0 ahead. That's the positive. Martial got his goal. We need him to come back in the EPL and hit the ground running.
We do. We need everybody who's in form to just get in better form, and we need the players that are out of form into form. We need Greenwood scoring goals. We need Bruno scoring goals, sir. We need everybody contributing, and we need to. I thought defense was fixed. As we were saying last pod, the defense looked like it was much shored up, but those were some shit goals to give up. I mean, watching the replay, you're not seeing the replay. I'm pulling it. It was not good.
You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it, sir. You play to win. And at Manchester United, you play to win. You win ugly. You steal a win. Whatever it takes, you win, sir. And we haven't been winning. And, well, let's hear what the manager had to say. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer put on the blindfold, facing that firing squad from Ed Woodward.
Performance wasn't good enough against the team that worked and ran, and well, they hit us on the break a couple of times and scored 2 goals like you sometimes do in Europe when you don't defend well enough.
What happened with that defensive organisation?
Of course, the first one is we play a short corner and we forget about the man up top, and that's unforgivable. And of course, the second one as well is we're not very well organised to counter press and to win the ball back when we're playing. So 2 soft goals to give away, and then we didn't have enough to come back second half. We scored from a cross, good goal by Anthony, and then you think 45 minutes to save something from the game, but second half we threw everything at it, but we couldn't break them down.
Was Axel's replacing at half-time due to injury, or was it the performance in the first half?
Well, it's a yellow card as well here. We needed to go for it and gamble to go forward, and so the yellow card made my decision there.
You're on a bit of a
There you go, sir. Ole, Mr. Nice Guy. Smiling more than I thought he would have been after losing 2-1 on the road in Istanbul.
Look, he's playing the Ole, Mr. Nice Guy card. You can hear it in his voice. He knows that was bad. Like, it's inexcusable. But again, for better or for worse, the blame sits with the manager, sir. Looking around the Champions League, we sit top on goal difference. Tied with 6 points with Istanbul, PSG with 3, Istanbul with 3. Obviously, RB Leipzig and PSG, sir. Seeing those names on the chart.
Well, group is wide open. Would have been so nice. 9 points. 9 points would have been a nice ceiling between us and PSG. Now it's so wide open, and that's exactly what you don't want. We wanted that stranglehold in Champions League. Now we're not going to.
But you know what? It helps us because RB beat PSG today 2-1, right? In some type of way, because I think PSG might get the best of RB Leipzig. So as long as they trade, and then we can as long as we don't lose, sir.
we gotta beat European giants Istanbul Basaksehir at home, though. They're gonna come back. They want to do the double against us. It's gonna be a tough game.
Sir,
it's not bad. It's not good. Up and down. It's like amazing, sir.
You got to look. If you were to tell me 6 points from 3, I'd take it. given this group, right? Because that means you're beating RB or PSG.
Yep.
And I would assume it'd be Istanbul. Now, shame on Manchester United for not beating the easiest team, but we're in a good position. And if you think about it that way, sir, it's not that bad of a scenario. It's just I had to watch that game while wearing the zebra kits, and it was very difficult.
And break it down, sir, which you've done an admirable job doing thus far.
You play to win the game, sir. You play to win the game. And that's why we always have a next match. That's right, Everton, the Toffees versus Manchester United at Goodison Park, sir. Saturday, November 7th, 4:30 a.m. Pacific. We got that early wake-up call on Saturday, 7:30 a.m. Eastern. It's going to be one, sir. Ole needs a win desperately in the league. United have only won 2 of the last 5 matchups in the league versus Everton, drawing 2, losing 1, sir. We used to have Everton's number. It was always a laugh riot. We have a friend who's an Everton fan. We always watch the game with him. We would always win. And then now things have kind of taken a turn. Everton on the rise.
Everton are on the rise, and I think Ole, they've had his number a little bit. I don't believe he's won since being the manager of Manchester United, so it's a big time to play him. They're a hot team. Everyone's talking about Everton. They started the season really well. United needs a big win. They've been pretty good on the road. I mean, the only thing that gives me some confidence, sir, is it's at Goodison, not at Old Trafford. Seems like we can't play at Old Trafford these days.
Well, yeah, and look, if you Everton, the Toffees, they bottle it, sir.
You're not worried?
So whenever Ole's going off of this kind of like terrible streak, he always lets it go right up till the point where he's getting fired, and somehow he rebounds miraculously. So like I'm rooting for the miraculous rebound. And I don't think it includes this diamond formation. He might be playing the diamond just to kind of send a signal to the board. They didn't give him the winger. Who knows? I think that'd be a bad tactic. Either way, I'm sure he has on a lot of guaranteed money, so I'm not going to feel bad for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer either way. After taking 13 points from Everton's opening 5 matches, they are now on the slide. This will be their 3rd straight defeat if Manchester United beat them, but we lay bottom of the table, sir. What are we, 15th?
I thought it was worse. People are acting like I thought we already got relegated. I think it is 15th.
I haven't checked, honestly. I haven't even looked at the table until now. 15th, sir.
Not
15th.
bad, not bad. Not how you start, it's how you finish.
So I'm surprised we're 15th.
Sir, how many points we got?
7 points.
How many, who's in the lead? Liverpool?
Yep, Liverpool 16 points. They've won 5 games. We've won 2. So
there you go.
Everton's won 4, drawn 1, lost 2. So again, it's going to be even. Goodison Park, Manchester United's 16 Premier League wins there is the joint most away wins for the club at a specific ground, alongside their own record 16 victories at Villa Park. We beat up Villa Park pretty bad. Bruno Fernandez has been involved in 12 goals in his 9 Premier League away matches with 8 strikes and 4 assists. Bruno's usually lights out. Lately, he's looking a little haggard, sir. What do you make of Bruno Fernandes?
I don't know what it is, man. Maybe it's the tail wagging the dog, but it's Bruno's off. The team is off. Maybe everything's a little bit off. Maybe it's this like who gets to be captain. I don't know, sir. But morale is down, and I think Bruno is down. So something ain't right, and it doesn't smell right. And the fact that he got hooked the previous game before this one was a little suspicious as well.
Well, remember that? Remember the rumored dressing room bust up between Ole and Bruno halftime at Tottenham. Remember that?
I do. So that could be rearing its ugly head, sir. And I think that's going to play out in the coming weeks. It's going to start with Everton, because Everton win buys you a lot of good faith. If that's the beginning of something, because then our run in the league, it's a lot easier than it has been. So an Everton win buys them a lot of time. Whether he can do that, it's going to be a big game. Must win.
Sir, I think we need the X-Files theme. Whenever I have a conspiracy, it's like you can play it. The Bruno Fernandez Ole falling out conspiracy. We got the Pochettino already kind of the made man conspiracy. They're piling up here on the pod. There might be some truth to them. A little history on Everton. Formed in 1878, Everton won their first league championship during the 1890-91 season. I mean, they started well back in the day. Little history: in 1878, the world's first recorded floodlit football fixture was played at Bramall Lane, sir. We all know Bramall Lane. Sheffield United and E. Remington and Sons in the United States introduced their number 2 typewriter, the first with the shift key, enabling production of lower as well as uppercase characters. We're talking real innovation. 1878. They had the shift key in 1878.
Back in the day.
We take that shift key for granted.
And the floodlights. I mean, the floodlights in Bramall Lane, sir. I don't know if they've updated them since 1878, but it's a throwback. I like it.
That's awesome. And Everton are the second longest continuous serving club in the English top flight, and they have won 9 league titles. A lot of people don't know this. Everton does have the silverware, 5 FA Cups, 1 European Cup Winners' Cup, and 9 Charity Shields. They haven't been so great, in the last 30 years, but Everton is a serious team with serious history, known as the Evertonians or the Blues, sir. Main rivals are Liverpool, but they don't like us either. We famously signed Wayne Rooney from Everton. Remember the name. And we've always had a little rivalry. David Moyes, we don't like Moyes. Moyes was Evertonian as well. We had to fire him. He faced the firing squad.
He certainly did.
A lot of history with Everton and a big game. The red, the blue, sir, love it.
You're right. We used to not sweat Everton, sir. We'd be like, going over to James' spot. You pick up the bagels, 3 points in the bag. No big deal, dude. Now it hasn't been the case. That 4-0 thump rings hollow in my head. I remember that too well, sir. Like the end of the slide in Ole's first half season. Can't have that happen again, but it's going to be a big match. I mean, sir, we get thumped again going into international break. You're going to be hearing a lot of Potch rumors.
Right. You think the
X-Files.
You think this pod's chippy. Wait till we get a 4:30 a.m. wake-up call, Everton.
I was going to say that.
If it goes sour, this is going to be a hell of a pod. Jumping to injuries, physioroom.com. Phil Jones is out. Tellus, Corona, still out. Bailly could come back, maybe late November, and Lingard hopefully is back soon. Might be available for Everton. We will see. Given those are the injuries, sir, Everton's going to come at us fast and furious. What is your lineup?
It's going to be a test, sir. This is who I've got. Dave Saves back in net, world number 1. A back 4 of AWB, Lindelof, Maguire, and Shaw. A midfield of Fred McTominay and Donny van de Beek, and then a front 3 of Martial, Bruno, and Marcus Rashford. Sir, who you got?
De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw, Fred, Pogba in the 2, Bruno in the hole, Rashford on the left, Martial up top, and I'm going to bring in Dan James on the right, sir. 4-2-3-1. We need something. We need that James pace. We need to get Martial back in. Obviously, he's been out. And I need Pogba, sir. What's this whole Pog drama thing? Like, there could be no better sign that something's going wrong at United when you bring on Cavani and Pogba, both on mega money wages, and those guys do nothing.
Nothing. Like, you would have almost I'd rather see a Gallo and Dan James, bro. On paper, that's the pick. You bring them in, you think they're going to be game changers. What do you make of Paul Pogba's performance? Because it wasn't vintage stuff, and it hasn't been the last couple of matches. Not that anyone in this team is playing vintage, but I'm just saying today was not great from Paul P.
Okay. I feel for Paul Pogba, dude. Honestly, I actually feel bad for him. I don't think he wanted to join United and have it not go well. I don't think that was part of the plan, but I think he came and it's not going well and he wants to leave. I think you need to get the best out of Paul Pogba. I think if you're the manager of Manchester United and he's on the roster, you need to figure out how to get the best out of him because he's probably one of the best players on the score sheet. Next out of that is Rashford. For whatever reason, Paul Pogba, they're playing him in different positions. We don't know. Ole hasn't figured it out yet. I think that's on Ole. Unfortunately, in the modern game, you got to deal with all Pogba's off-field antics. You got to deal with everything, but you got to manage the player because he's one of the best players in the world. And if you're not getting the best out of him and he's not playing well for you, something's wrong with his team. It's not going to go well, right? You need to get the best players playing at the top of their game.
No, it's true. And now, we haven't gotten the players. Ole didn't get all the players he wanted, but there are good players in this team. And obviously 15th isn't good enough. So the pressure's going to be on him in a major way. We've talked about timelines when his head would be on the guillotine based on times and positions, sir. But it's like, he's not doing himself any favors by losing at Goodison, which is possible.
Yeah, exactly. And I think at the end of the day, if you look at the players that we have on the roster, like Roy Keane was talking about, it's like they're better than the Istanbul, right? So we need to be getting more from these players, sir. It's like I don't think it's a talent issue, right? Like I don't know what the players need or why they're not playing up to their potential. But if you look at Wan-Bissaka, like worldie, Luke Shaw, he's a great player. Maguire, right? How much money is he making? Martial, Rashford. We got players, sir. And if they're not playing well, playing like losing Istanbul, looking like they got nothing against Arsenal, this is it's unsustainable.
No, it's worrying stuff because the players that are, have bailed us out in the past just don't look right. Bruno looks off. Pogba looked off. He's looked a little off, but Bruno's been our guy since he's joined. Lockdown every game, and something just feels funny. Maybe it's been since that Spurs game, sir. But we got to right the ship quickly, and we got to do it against Everton.
But just comparing it to like American sports in some way, it's funny because you never really. It's almost like, are the players motivated? Do they want to give it all? Like, and you question that a lot when it comes to football in England. But it's like, could you ever think of an NFL player not wanting to play well or not trying hard?
No, it's true. It's true. So it's hard to compare it to the NFL, but
you know what I'm saying? Like it's funny to question like their motivation when they're getting paid millions of dollars to play the game, and it's like they don't look like they're about it. It seems like it's a weird thing to watch a team who is great and they could play, and it's just there's like it's the secret sauce. The mojo's gone, and you look at Manchester United and like they lacked mojo today, and they lacked mojo against Arsenal, and that's like an intangible that's hard to evaluate because if something could be alien in the locker room. These are things we can only speculate. We do not know, and you can just see it on the pitch, and obviously fans are furious.
Especially when you've seen mojo where like this team look fly high and after beating PSG, after beating RB at Leipzig, and then you just show up and you look like a totally different team. So it's that inconsistency is just you can't have it because the top teams show up week in, week out, and that's why they're the top teams.
Damn straight, sir. It's never been said better. Booking the bookies. United are favorites, if you would believe it, against Everton, plus 145. Everton, plus 185. The draw, plus 240. First-time goal scorer overall from both teams. DCL, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, absolute. He's playing out of his mind at the moment, sir. Plus 470. Then you have Martial, Bruno Fernandez, Cavani, Rashford, Igalo, all at plus 550 with Mason Greenwood plus 700 and Donny plus 1100. Sir, given those the odds, that's what the bookmakers have it. What is your score prediction for Everton versus Manchester United?
Sir, it's going to be one that, Twitter sphere is going to be blowing up on one side or the other. I'm calling a 1-0 nervy victory. We got a penalty. Bruno Fernandez scores, and we just do it. What do you got?
4-2 thriller at Goodison. We're back, baby. United are coming back, sir.
Please. 4:30 a.m., sir. What happened last time we woke up at 4:30 a.m.?
No, it was a win. It was a win. I forget which game it was. We woke up. It was a good game. You know what? As a fan, it's more important that we play hard and like give it all than, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can lose, but you got to give it all for the badge, sir. And I haven't been seeing that.
Especially because today, right? Yeah, I hear you, sir. I agree with you because 2-1 doesn't even sound that bad. We actually it was way worse. If it was a better team, they would have smoked us because that's a shit team. That is a team that's like worse than Newcastle. And they played us off the park, bro. And they only had like 2 shots and they played us off the park.
No, and I actually asked myself, what could this be? Because how can you go from beating RB Leipzig and being on top of the world and then playing Arsenal that poorly? It seems like we're young, and the mentality is young and immature. Where you kind of think you're too hot when you go to you beat RB, and then you're not ready for Arsenal. And I think that if you watch that Michael Jordan documentary, sir, you got to be raising the bar every single time. It can't be good enough, right? It's not good enough until you lift that trophy. And I think we kind of have a young United side, and maybe that's something we suffer from. That's the only type of thing from the mentality perspective I could chalk it up to.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the defense, because otherwise, how could you really explain like the peaks and valleys that have been so insanely high and low? It's like he goes from being the high of highs. I mean, sir, God bless us, but it's not good for our blood pressure, like the ups and downs of this team. Going from like beating PSG, like turning the screws against them, like smoking RB, and then just like that Arsenal team was shit too, bro. Speaking of maybe being worse than Newcastle, we made them look like superstars.
Sure. I think also part of this is like RB was a week ago.
A week ago.
7 days ago, I was like literally like waking up in the morning and be like, oh, Manchester United. Woo, let's go.
We played always at the wheel, bro. We played always at the wheel.
We're back, baby. We're back. I was like 7 days ago, we're back. And then I'm just like 7 days. I'm like, dude, I got evicted. I'm broke. Job. Like, it's like, what the hell happened? What happened in 7 days? You know, it's like, but look, sir, it's been a real recap. Everton, everything's on it. It's a big match, sir. Let's hope the players show up. If the players don't show up for this match, you know something's wrong.
Well said, sir. Well said, Ben.
Guided in the news, sir. Jumping in here. Speaking of pressure, speaking of players showing up, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer told he will be sacked if Manchester United lose. Enormous Everton clash. It's almost like there's a conspiracy to fire Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It's almost like he wasn't backed. He was set up to fail. And Eddie Woodward has always been greasing the guillotine, ready to fire him because he's got his boy Poch on the side, ready to go.
So where's the X-Files music when you need it? Maybe this kind of actually does sound a little bit like X-Files. But they've already begun. This won't be the last rumor you hear about Ole about to get his ass sacked.
No, it's crazy, but Neil Ashton was seen, right, with Maurizio Pochettino. Pochettino was sort of crowned by Sir Alex, and we heard it from Stanley Chow, friend of the pod, that he rated him quite a bit. I'm sure that is, Woodward knows that. They had to pay big money to get him out of Tottenham. Ole went on a run. They gave Ole the deal. Pochettino hasn't taken another job. So, I think where there's smoke, there's fire. And then you have the press pounding the Ole's going to be fired rumors. Where does this come from, sir? Where does this Ole's going to be fired rumors come from? It's almost like they want to orchestrate this firing because they want to get Pochettino in. You hate Pochettino, sir. Again,
it's not that I hate him. It doesn't make any. You fire Ole to bring in Pochettino makes no sense. He's not like a noticeable upgrade, in terms of his CV. I think if you bring in a new manager, you got to bring in a manager that's going to be respected because he's achieved so much and has a long-term vision for the club, right? Like, obviously, Mourinho, you would think everyone would respect him, but he's also a lunatune. If he wins something, then he goes to shit as soon as he's not made happy. Poch, I don't see the discernible upgrade. Like, yeah, he's like, he invests in young players, he builds a team, but he hasn't won shit. And that's my thing. That's why I'm not ready to give it to Poch, bro. It's like, you're going to fire Ole. He hasn't won anything. But he actually won something in Molde. He actually won something in Molde, and like, Pochettino's won zero as a manager. So that's my comment. It's like, if you're going to fire him, bring in Everton's manager, bro. He's won a Champions League. Ancelotti is a manager. That's like who United should be bringing in if they were to get rid of Ole. So that's just my 2 cents.
No, I appreciate that angle. And, going back to the X-Files conspiracy side of me is if you were not like ready to fire Ole and like wanted to because you had Pochettino like pretty much on a free, you didn't have to buy him or anything. He's like ready to go and probably been told that. You wouldn't be looking to fire Ole this early. It's like Everton isn't the game to fire him, honestly. Like, I think you got to give him until Christmas. You're not going to get relegated as Manchester United. You might miss out on Europe, but it's almost like I would just let it get like so bad so it's just like either Ole's going to turn around or it's just going to be a real bad slide. And once you lose the locker room and it goes that direction, you'll know. So it's like only time will tell. And Everton to me seems too soon for these types of rumors. And if he does get fired after Everton, it's because they were looking for a reason to.
No, I agree. No, I think you're also spot on because it's way too early to fire him. If you do fire him this year, it is way too early to fire him. So I think we're both in agreement that if they do it, they are literally just looking for a reason to so they can change the subject.
Yeah, it's like you need to give him like I basically say, look, it's been a tough, tight turn of fixtures. We beat some good teams. We've had some tough matches. Tottenham sucked. Arsenal sucked. Istanbul sucked. Let's see if you can qualify for the next round of the Champions League, and let's see if you can turn around the league against lower opposition. And if you can do that, which I think we'll know that in another month, then we're back. And if you can't, then you're out probably. I think you need to take a longer term view. I know there's a lot of armchair quarterbacking here, but changing a manager should not be done lightly. And, Ole should be given time to try to sort this out. And if he cannot, then obviously he will be fired by Ed Woodward. But I just don't think an Everton is the game, like lose it and you're fired. That's kind of crazy. That's only Woodward and his terrible management of this club.
No, I think you're spot on, sir. I think you're right.
Next bit of news, Manchester United missed out on signing Moussa Diaby and were willing to pay up to £45 million for the Bayer Leverkusen winger, sir. You're just putting this in just to make fun of Ed Woodward after we already made fun of Ed Woodward.
Apparently he was a target that was rated above Amad Diallo, but they wanted all the money up front. And we weren't willing to pay even £45 million up front. So we ended up with Amad Diallo in January.
Well, we didn't have the money, and Manchester United only has £50 million on the balance sheet now, which is pretty tight. So, look, Ed Woodward, he's busy in many aspects of this club. One of them is, got to get that man out. # sack Woodward, sir. Next bit of news, Ryan Giggs. I always like to take a shot at Giggs. United legend, but, shagging the brother's wife. Come on, man. You can't let that one go. Apparently, he's got to miss the next 3 games as Wales manager after the former Manchester United legend was arrested on suspicion of assault on his girlfriend. Sir, he denies the assault. I'm not saying he did anything, but apparently it was like a disturbance because Ryan Giggs was caught cheating again. So Ryan Giggs is a dog. He's a dog. Dirty dog, sir.
Dirty dog alert, bro. I hate to say it. Sometimes your legend's a dog and not that good of a guy. And Ryan Giggs just ain't that good of a guy. And hell of a player, bro. He was a hell of a player, but he's just not a good guy. Just really not a good guy. And it's a shame because he's a legend. But we're not going to be making any Giggsy t-shirts anytime soon, bro.
And again, obviously, assault is a real serious allegation. I'm not commenting on the assault. I'm commenting on the infidelity and the repeat episodes. But, if you don't think you can get it together after you're publicly outed for shagging your brother's wife and all this other stuff, which is just absolutely insane. And then and his brother does betting adverts in England. He can't sort it after that. Ryan Giggs, good luck, mate. Good luck.
Oh, sir, good luck. I prefer not to say. If I could find the button, I'd prefer not to say. It's Ryan Giggs. Whew. That's a tough one.
Ryan Giggs. He's welcome on the pod, though. So,
yeah, you sure?
maybe not. I love it. I'll tell you what, Ryan Giggs probably has some stories.
Oh, sir. Yeah, he's probably a lot of fun to go to the bar with.
Oh, my God. All right, fan questions, jumping into it. At T. Zolski on Twitter, quote, "Well, that was a joke. We should have cruised to a win. As usual, we played down to the level of our opponent and begged them to beat us. We continue to lack a sense of urgency / mentality. Not sure if that is an indictment of Ole as a coach or the type of players we have or a combination." I really think that's well said.
No, that's a really good tweet. And it's true. It's you can blame the coach, you can blame the players. It's probably a combo of the two because nothing went right today. We thought we showed up, fell flat, got punched in the face, and just fell apart. Those 2 goals we gave up were so they're ugly.
At Burkett Mets on Twitter, quote, "Still in the driver's seat in the group. Take a deep breath. Focus turns to Everton at the weekend." Burkett Mets.
Sensible. Very sensible.
He's sitting on top of the mountain, sir, meditating, levitating, just he sees the big picture. Take a deep breath. It's all on Everton, sir. It's all on Everton.
I'll take a hit of whatever he's smoking, bro. He sounds nice and calm. At peace. Mike Burkett, I appreciate it. It's you're right. Let's hear the next one. You think it's going to be so calm?
Take that deep breath. At Blickstro on Twitter, quote, "This is who we are now. The standard that we are, that the executives and ownership have let settle into the club. We have fallen and it's painful to watch. The consistent inconsistency. Ole is a joke of a Premier League level manager and is symbolic of the state of Manchester United, and the players don't care." Woo! Take that deep breath.
Ooh, shots fired. The players, it seemed like they didn't care at points today. Not everybody, but there was definitely like a lack of, whatever you saw from Raphael just pouring out. Like he was so tuned in, his eyes looked like turbo. We didn't see from the rest of, we didn't see from any of the United players, maybe a couple at times, but it was just, there was no fire, there was no conviction, and it's worrisome stuff. There's reasons why people are freaking, sir.
You got to be able to fix it and win in Istanbul. Come on, man. Like, that just gets me. At Dave Paz, quote, I hope I am wrong, but we're on a slippery slope, and Ole will lose his job if we lose against Everton on Sunday. I fear the worst. So, again, similar to that article, Ole, tough times. At JDW300, quote, even worse than the Arsenal performance. Backline looked lost from the beginning. Maguire has no idea how to marshal a defense. Only sub I agreed with was Cavani for Mata, but he shouldn't have started over Greenwood anyway. How did Matic play all 90 minutes is beyond my understanding, ... Sir. I know you're a big Matic fan.
Yeah, I mean, I think the bigger indictment in this tweet is Maguire. It's like he's the captain. Didn't feel like we had a lot of leadership coming from the back line today, especially with that goal we gave up at the beginning. Is it time to make Bruno the captain, sir?
I think he's my captain, sir. I totally agree. At IC1 on Twitter, Eric Morales, Patreon subscriber there, quote, again, another uninspired performance. They went into this game thinking they had the 3 points locked up. Well, look what happened. 2 goals on shit defense and never seen a real chance at goal besides the 1 goal. That is the most worrying thing. It's like, whatever happened to United, like peppering the other goal and, like we just lost because we hit the post 3 times and their goalie had a worldie of a game. Like this was not like that at all. And it's like, that's what's concerning. It's like, it was really, really tough performance.
No, we've shown it. I mean, it's been throughout the tenure, unfortunately, the ups and the downs. But the downs of where like you get your game plan goes to shit and everything goes to shit, where we just like look like gutless for the rest of the game. And today we had nothing, dude. We were down for most of the game and created very little against a team that we should be able to create against.
Sir, I'll tell you one thing that I haven't told you, but I'm going to do. I'm going to get custom engraved bottles of champagne that will be engraved with the English Premier League title, Champions League title, and FA Cup. And it was so funny. I was like, I'm going to get these bottles of champagne so that when we win one of these trophies, you get to open it. And then I thought like, they would collect a lot of dust.
They collect a lot of dust. The FA Cup one, you might pop open, sir. But that league and Champions League, bro, let's make room, bro. I had to say, you're lucky my camera's not on because I was flipping burnt. Are you crazy? That's like buying a kit. That's like buying 21, bro, with champions on it.
No. It's just
waiting.
Like, it's like because champagne doesn't go bad that long, but. Yeah, the next Champions League trophy. So that bottle of champagne might sit there for a bit.
Sir, get a nice young Pinot, get a nice young Cabernet, bro. That needs a long time to age. I like.
Yeah.
Sir.
Oh my God. At Charlie_Ferris, quote, it's time for a change. It sucks Woody gets off scot-free, but it's not just good enough from Ole. It's not all that I hate him. I hate saying this, but this team needs a new voice. I feel like a more experienced manager could get more out of this group. And Charlie, like another great take. We have the best fans in the world, sir. I mean, like he said it right. It's just like, look, I like Ole, but you can't be inconsistent. And he's been so inconsistent, and maybe the players need a new voice to try to generate some consistency there.
Yeah, I hear you. I think he just needs a little bit more time if we really see if it's inconsistency. Because his numbers over the first 100 games are not, they're not terrible. Not as good as Ole. Excuse me, not Jose. Jose. Better than LVG. The highs have been high. The lows have been low. I think, like, let's get to Christmas, right? By Christmas, we'll either be in the next round of the Champions League or out. And we'll have a much better idea of, like, are we real deal in the league, or are we actually a shit team that's completely inconsistent that needs a more experienced manager? And let's talk about the next manager. Let's not just assume it's going to be Pochettino because I don't know why. I don't know what they're buddies. I guess they must like go golfing together or something.
Sir, I've connected the dots. On Pochettino, he'll be the next manager at Manchester United. Look, I totally agree that now is not the time to make the decision, but Ed Woodward, absolute riot, man. I can't believe he runs this club. Next tweet at Marco Nunes 408. I know it's early, but another underperforming number 7. I said it. Cavani number 7 makes me nervous, sir. I'm not going to jinx Cavani, but when he looks on, when he comes on, I'm not going to say that he looks like he's going to do anything, though.
I mean, we didn't create shit, so I think like if he had chances, I'd like to see what he can do with it. But like nobody was doing nothing, sir. I thought Pogba looked worse.
We'd be better off with Fellaini. I think Ole's issue is he sold Fellaini
too early. Sir, you asked my wife; that would be her advice. You sold Fellaini.
We'd be better off like getting Fellaini in the box.
He makes shit happen.
Just like
sir. Scrap the pot. Sir, go to housekeeping. That's anyway. Unless a tweet is asking to bring Fellaini back, sir. I mean, I would be about it, bro. He might have actually like led to some chances at the end of the game today.
Okay. At Bryguy66, old streaky Ole back at it again. At Patsy3AS2Snow6, quote, I want to start with I'm still Ole in, but what are your guys' view on if we lose to Everton at the weekend? Does Ole get the sack or will he get longer? I think he gets longer, but I think Woodward's he's on the game to game with Woodward. For me, he'd be on the, give him the, next 6 weeks.
I think, I think we've made it clear that we want to wait. I think there's a chance. I think there's another 4-0 thump. You never know. A good distraction for Woodward to take off the earnings. So, I don't know. It's possible. It just shouldn't happen. It's too soon.
Look, we're going to end the episode with at you, Bosun, quote, don't know anymore, ... Desperate days. Old Trafford. I agree. As soon as we lost to Istanbul, the text message on the WhatsApp started flowing in, and I just said, tough times. I got nothing to say. This is like one of those where it's bad and I got nothing to say. Usually I have a joke for the Chelsea fan, but I got nothing to say.
Sir, we got plenty to say. We filled a pod with something to say. And we're going to find out how right we are, sir, because if it's a big loss, well, it's not going to talk about if it's a big win or it's squeaky bum time in between. It's going to be 4:30, bud. Bright and early.
Sir, I will get the coffee maker going. Look, that's the pod. American Red Devils for fans, by fans. If you can't hear it in our voices, we are passionate fans who ride the highs and lows of this team. And boy, it's been a crazy season, sir. It's only early November. And it's a long season. Who knows what's going to happen with Manchester United this year?
There's a lot of games left to play, sir. A lot of game left, as they say.
If you want to support the podcast, we are completely independent fan content, and we think that it's great to showcase different fan views. You can check out our blog, www.americanreddevils.com. We have great fan contributors there. If you want to contribute, you can email us, americanreddevils@gmail.com. We love getting fan opinions out. That is what this podcast is about. We are that biased take. We're not going to be ESPN FC telling you Paul Pogba is the problem with United. We're going to be giving you conspiracy theories and everything in between. If you want to support us on Patreon, you can do so. Visit our Patreon page, patreon.com/AmericanRedDevils. If you don't like Patreon, you can buy some merch in our store. And if you can't part with some cold-earned cash, write a review on iTunes, 5 stars. It goes a long way, sir. It's been a hell of a week for downloads. If you're listening to this pod, you're the hardcore of hardcores, and we appreciate you. Give us the top downloads, sir.
Sir, number 1, how you doing? How you doing? Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Number 2, Columbus, Ohio. Denver, Colorado. Lee's Summit, Missouri. San Francisco, California. Number 6, Croydon, UK. Toms River, New Jersey. How you doing? Federal Way, Washington. Chicago, Illinois. And last but not least, Seattle, Washington, sir. Great list. Appreciate all the downloads for the American Red Devils around the world. It's got to get better. It's got to get better. You know we're going to win on Everton. Got to. Otherwise, that's going to be a really bad pod. And then you're really not going to want to listen to the pod.
Sir, we always have some laughs.
Always.
We try to keep it lighthearted. Look, we're not making excuses for anyone. This is Manchester fucking United, sir. I said it. It's like we got to be winning. We got to be lifting trophies. And it's like the hyenas, sir. The hyenas are nipping at our heels. The Chelseas, the Liverpools, the cities. Everyone's getting their number and they're having their laughs, sir. We need to clap back. United, it's time. It's like We got the players. And it's time to go, sir. It's time to start taking this thing seriously. Otherwise, we're going to be another 30 years. Those champagne bottles never going to open.
Sir, we're a lion who's forgotten how to roar. We need to we have to refine our balls and just get back to business. This team has it. This team is good. Very good. They just need to remember who they fucking play for, sir. Sorry.
No, it's true. Sir, it's okay to be passionate on the pod. It's you're right. You're exactly right. It's someone's got to take them on a little history tour and tell them how great this club is and teach them the history of it so that they understand what it means to wear that shirt. And I'd rather a player get sent off with a straight red card, losing and showing some grit than just laying down in Istanbul, dude. We need some cojones out there on the pitch, and I think we're lacking that a little bit. But sir, we can go on all day. You know me. I could go for 3 hours. It's been a real podcast. We're going to be kicking a blue at the weekend, sir. As always.
As always, sir, kicking a blue.
MUFC.